I wonder if I had chosen either of the other three options, if I would have been, like, not disagreeable. But, I mean, that last set of options was all disagreeable, right? Okay. So, welcome back to Vampire the Masquerade. Continuing my thought as if everybody is going to remember what I'm talking about after 48 hours. This is Vampire the Masquerade, Coteries of New York. I am really excited that I am playing this. I love Vampire the Masquerade. I love World of Darkness. Before we begin, I wanted to just bring about a reminder that this series is going to be structured in a very different way, and future series is as well. I will be deciding on whether to continue a series based off of how much everybody is enjoying it. 30 views is the threshold for it. I'm not even going to go off of likes because I feel like asking people for likes is a bit ridiculous. I think asking for views is a little more natural. But yeah, 30 views I think is a pretty good threshold to have. Again, thank you to God King R for the suggestion. I want to give it a try. It's really cool. And yeah, I mean, I think it makes sense to try and see what the engagement is on a series, because if people really enjoy it, then obviously they're going to keep watching it. But if nobody's into it, then obviously people are not going to watch it. So I'm not, just if you like it, that's that. But yeah, I like this so far. Anyways, let's continue. In the last episode, they were deciding my death. I have now been sentenced with final death, which is how they phrase it, because as a vampire, I have already died. So, okay, the sheriff has unsheathed his curved sword. It is a beautifully detailed blade, which you expect must be worth a small fortune. Its apparent sharpness makes you freeze up. 2 outs, bottom of the 9th. His quiet mumble is audible to nobody but you. As his eyes meet yours, you notice just a hint of sadness in his countenance, one that quickly vanishes to give way to grim determination, and he's out to bat. Shadir, you will not get another chance to speak up. Ask for mercy. Wait, what? No, what just happened? Oh, okay. That's it. She appeared for half a second, so I thought I missed some text. You make your choice. Spare me, please. Don't make me beg, God damn it. Prince, if I may ask you to stay the sheriff's hand for a while longer. Shadir looks at the prince, awaiting her response. The sword is still hanging above you, threatening to fall at a moment's notice. Is there something you'd like to say, Miss Langley? Yes, if I may. At first, the prince looks somewhat annoyed at the distraction, but she stays quiet for a while, measuring the mood in the room. The bored elites suddenly look at you with aroused interest, some of them dismayed at not seeing the bloodshed, but all intrigued by the unexpected twist. The prince nods. Well, let's hear it. Sophie takes a few steps forward. All eyes are on her now, but Shadir's heavy hand on your shoulder makes it clear you won't take advantage of the distraction. I think I'll give Sophie a slightly different accent. My prince, while the traditions are clear, I believe that the proper context should be observed in addition to the letter of our laws. It's a slightly more, not real, again, none of these accents I think are real, but it's a thicker accent than the ones that I've been giving all of the other posh. They're all posh, okay? But I want to give Sophie, she's also like quite fancy and quite elegant. Not to say that some accents in America are not elegant. But I haven't perfected the one accent that I'm thinking of, which is I'm totally blanking. It's the accent that they would teach everyone in like the 20s. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about. I believe that this fledgling is a burden, but with proper guidance, they could become an asset to our domain. And I understand you are volunteering to take this unruly... Oh, no, it's going to mess up all of my other accents doing that one. And I understand you are volunteering to take this unruly child under your protection. Yes, I am willing to give them a chance and to prove to the entire domain that they can adhere to our expectations. I will take nothing less than their full cooperation, naturally. Whispers can be heard again, an incredulous voice or two. A hush, just behead the fucker. How rude! Some suppressed exclamations of surprise. Silence. I ask all of you to make a note of this moment. I might be persuaded to bend one tradition in this child's favor, but another will have to be enforced even more firmly in its stead. Until thy progeny shall be released, thou shalt command them in all things. Their sins that are thine to endure. Are you certain that's a responsibility you wish to shoulder, Miss Langley? I am willing to guide this fledgling and add a valuable ally to our sect in a time of need, yes. Maybe I might go back to the other one. I don't know. Let me know in the comments below. But I would like to receive the right of destruction over them if it pleases you. Should I say so? Oh no. This wasn't part of the deal. Don't say that. Give me a chance to prove myself, Prince. Should I say that? I am worth keeping alive, Prince. Give me a chance to prove myself. That remains to be seen. I do take notice of your tenacity. See that it doesn't become a burden. I shall grant what you ask. Let it be known. Sophie Langley of the Clan of the Rose shall become this fledgling's patron. They shall be considered like sire and child. Miss Langley will take full responsibility for them, and I grant her the right of destruction, if she sees fit to use it. Let my intentions be clear, however. If I am to turn a blind eye to one of our most important traditions on this occasion, I expect it to be beneficial to the Camarilla. Substantially so. I hope you find this verdict satisfactory, Miss Langley. Of course, Prince. Thank you. Very well. She turns to you. What is your name, child? Shouldn't I use a nickname? Will I even have the chance to use it? Marie, Prince. She nods. Welcome to the Camarilla, Marie. My dictionary has been updated. Sheriff. The sheriff ensures that the traditions and the decrees of the prince are obeyed, hunts down violators, and delivers the just punishment. In the case of minor violations or known enemies of the Camarilla, the sheriff is usually authorized to act as both judge and jailer executioner. But when it comes to greater offenses, they will deliver the accused to the court to be judged. So that's what happened. The Camarilla, a major sect of vampires devoted primarily to maintaining the masquerade through influence and manipulation of mortal society. Okay. So, the masquerade is the idea of vampires masquerading as mortality. So they are not entirely separate from humanity, they just manipulate it through, like, being a part of the aristocracy, that kind of thing. Now, this evening proved to be more eventful than I anticipated, but with the fledgling's fate decided, I believe our meeting here can conclude. Alright, I'll just look it up. A newly created vampire still under their sire's protection. See? I believe our meeting here can conclude. Thank you all for appearing on such short notice. Give my regards to those who couldn't make it. Shadir, a moment of your time before I let you return to your duties. Of course, Prince. They're hard to keep their voices together. A vampire who has claimed a given expansive domain as their own, generally a city, and supports that claim against all others. The term can refer to a kindred of either sex. So yeah, it's a prince, but it's kind of like the Diedrich princes. Some of them are female, but they're just called princes. Of course, Prince. He shoots you a side glance that doesn't leave much space for interpretation. You will be watched, you will be judged, and if you need be, you will be punished. The two of them leave the gallery. Well, Marie, I think we've both already managed to significantly improve each other's evenings. But let's keep the ball rolling, shall we? I think we should have a toast to a new fruitful partnership. She raises her hand to one of the well-dressed concierges concierge? I think it's concierge. Who have now reappeared in the showroom. I'm sorry, I'm picking up on the accent. To refill the guests' glasses, the conventionally handsome man approaches with a carafe of red liquid. The memory of throwing up in the safe house is still fresh in your mind, but the idea that it could happen again is almost enough to reject the drink altogether. But there's no denying you want it. Need it. I remember what Shadir said about your misadventure before getting in the car. Some of us have more delicate palates than others. Try to take a small sip, s'il vous plaît. Oh, she's French! Darn it. I cannot do the French. I can only do this. And this is not French. This is insulting. This is far more insulting than my terrible English accent. Nobody wants this. He pours it into 2 tall glasses. You can barely wait until he hands you the drink. Your attention is fully on it. The fact that it's blood, you are certain of it, doesn't faze you this time. It's difficult to take just a sip. Even though the taste is as foul as before, you are tempted to down the whole glass in one go. You wait before taking a second taste. You're glad you did. A feeling like heartburn signals that you can't keep it down. You spit it back inside the glass. Sophie looks on, intrigued. I'm not surprised. New York City caterers, NYC caterers have very bourgeois ideas about what good blood should taste like. Well, you just need to keep trying. At Sophie's request, the concierge serves you 3 other variants of blood. The first 2 are as horrible and indigestible as before, both ending up back in the glass within moments of tasting them. Before the 3rd try, you are almost ready to throw the glass at the wall in frustration. But finally, this one's different. Instead of mud and decay, a surprisingly rich bouquet of tastes. You feel blissfully at ease, and Sophie takes notice. Ah, there it is. Jacob, would you kindly let us know who the donor was? Leave a bottle, please. The concierge notices. I'm probably still not saying it right. And leaves again. You take another sip, and another. You empty the glass. The dull feeling in your stomach and head starts subsiding, but you still want more. Sophie pours you another glass and refills hers. She takes a sip. You have a curiously specific taste, Marie. Is it the clover notes, the traces of caffeine, or that bittersweet aftertaste of melancholy? What? You taste nothing of the kind, but it doesn't matter. It's tasty, but not as delicious as it was last night. Not as intoxicating. It manages to silence the hunger somewhat. Oh my god, what's my favorite type of blood? I mean, we liked the waiter. Obviously, we drained him, right? So, it's not like people who are in a high position. I wonder what it is. The hunger. It's pretty obvious. The urge to feed. For vampires, the hunger replaces all other drives with its own powerful call. Drinking blood puts you at ease. It is a strange realization. The man named Jacob comes back with a small card and leaves it with Sophie. She takes a look and passes it on to you. It's somebody's medical details. An office worker. Male. Caucasian. 32 years old. Blood type what? ABRH plus. What is that? I've never heard that. What is... Alright, look. We gonna look this... The game is probably gonna tell me, but No, not that. I actually need to know. Blood type ABRH plus. What is this? RH indicates there are RH antigens, antibodies, in the blood plasma. No antibodies. If all possible antigens are present, there are no antibodies in the blood plasma. Alright, that didn't actually tell me, like, anything. Persons having inherited such antigens being designated RH+, and persons lacking them are RH-. So they're people who have antigens? Blue eyes, brown hair, no history of substance abuse, New Jersey native. Might one of these details be what makes the difference? I bet it's the ABRH+. Now that we have picked the right bouquet for your palate, these documents should be useful in identifying your exact taste. Should they be ORH or Joyzy Boys? Okay, I can't do Joyzy Boys. She probably has a New York accent, but I can't do New York. Joyzy Boys. But I believe, you know what? I'm gonna go back to giving her a regular accent because I think that's a little more accurate. I'm just going off of the fact that she's probably got, like, that accent that I was talking about that I can't quite do. Margaret is almost that accent. The wind that's like this. It's a bit like that. But without the voice. I can't separate them. It's just stuck together. But I believe you have more questions, no? Perhaps we should start with those related to sustenance. How much do I have to drink? I feel this hunger constantly. How much do I have to drink to make it go away? The sad reality is, it will never go away. No matter how much you drink, you will always be tempted to have more. Unless you consume someone wholly, to the last drop, paying for temporary relief with their life. But that is a one-way road to losing your humanity. Best start by taking a single sip from a vessel. Be prudent. Hot, fresh blood will be more satiating than most anything they serve in a fancy glass. But if you can take more, voracious. As to how much you should have, it depends. If you are frugal, you can survive many nights without a single drink, but it's risky and will tempt the beast that is part of our curse. Alright, so the vessel, source of blood, the beast, the inchoate drives and urges that threaten to turn a vampire into a mindless, ravening monster. The beast is uncontrollable. Once the beast comes out, it will search for sustenance and nothing else. It has no concern for the masquerade, and it is considered very dangerous in the vampire universe to ever rely on the beast for anything. Tomorrow, I shall take you hunting, and we will explore this topic further. The blood you are having tonight should be enough to keep you happy for now. You mentioned a beast. What will you expect of me? So now that I'm working for you, what are my responsibilities going to be like? I'm giving her this innocent tone of voice, but she's not necessarily. It's a bit more complicated than working for me. If I wished for a servant, there were easier ways to achieve that than risking the prince's chagrin at Elysium. Chagrin. Elysium, a place where vampires may gather without fear of harm. Court functions in Elysium are strictly kept apart from mortals and surrounded by secrecy. But the Elysium building itself could be a public museum, a gallery, or a club. Bourgain is an anarch Elysium. The Louvre is a Camarilla Elysium. Interesting. I can see potential in you that would have been wasted if I hadn't spoken up. Not to mention it would pain me to witness a senseless final death. It always had. That said, I will require you to defer to me in all things, but me being your mentor and superior also means I shall treat you as my loyal retainer and understudy. With me, you can go far. Without me and proper guidance, you would have become a clear danger to the masquerade. That is why, with your sire gone, the prince wanted you out of the picture too. Pretty sure I explained all of those. Concierge returns, asks for permission to intrude, which Sophie gives with a polite smile, and leans in to whisper in her ear. You note that the gallery is now almost empty. I am being told the gallery is just about to close, but we still have quite a lot to discuss. We'll go to one of my apartments. My jalopy is waiting downstairs. Come. I think she does have no, it's not Middle Eastern. I'm totally blanking on the name of the accent, but I've been wanting to learn it anyways. The smile she puts on could tip any negotiation towards her favor. Her words are like honey, and she makes it impossible to take your eyes off of her. You are under her spell momentarily. Sophie leads you to a luxurious silver Rolls Royce and invites you to sit in the back. The chauffeur, a broad-shouldered, clean-shaven, middle-aged guy. I like how it's her face in the mirror, but that would require the mirror to be, like, tilted towards the passenger seat, which is totally useless. Starts driving immediately. Where did we leave off? I believe I started telling you a bit more about our customs. No, I'm not going to try it. You've heard the prince refer to our traditions. The chief among them is the masquerade. As you might have gathered from us assembling at a niche gallery after closing time, our comings, goings, and doings tend to be somewhat secretive. We do not advertise our existence. We allow myths and modern fiction to morph and muddle the facts. So to the vast majority of kind, we remain bedtime stories and pop culture icons. Kind are humans. Say, is that one television show about a vampire angel still popular? Vampire angel? Is she talking about Angel? Like literally the show Angel that was a spinoff of Buffy? You shake your head in confusion. She shrugs and continues talking, looking a little bit more dejected than before. Our clandestine ways help us remain safe, allow us to explain away the occasional trip up to the rational minds of 21st century humanity, and dictate much of our interactions with mortals. Is your driver a vampire too? Wait, what about my career then? What's the risk? What's the worst that could happen if you're a vampire? I'm sure you can defeat any threat that comes your way. Oh, wait, no, that was me. What's the worst if it could happen if you're being a vampire? Blah, 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 blah. Okay. It would surely make things easier if we could. Unfortunately for us, there are plenty of things that harm us. Chief among them are sunlight and fire. Both will burn you to ash. That's why we rest during the day. You felt it, I'm sure. That it's more like being dead than being dormant. But we have no choice. We are night dwellers, but day sleepers. Some more folk-related threats are just legends, or occasionally a minor nuisance. Garlic, running water. I keep trying to give her an accent. It's the way the text is. They all seem like they have an accent. Even religious symbols don't repel us, unless the wielder is uniquely pure and godly. So priests can do it if they're, like, literally just, they live and die and breathe by the word of God. But, you know, if you have, like, a questioning priest or something like that, then no, they're useless. Stakes through the heart, though, that's something to avoid. They do not destroy, but they do paralyze, which, under the right circumstances, can often be the same thing. That's a reason to have somebody like my trusted driver, Gregory, making sure you're safe when you drift away. We have many enemies, and they often know their advantage lies with daylight. So it's good to keep human friends? Am I right in thinking that having a human friend or two is necessary then? Or at least useful? In moderation, and best if they don't know your true nature. Also, I would say that subordinates are useful, but friends, I haven't had one of those for many years now. Our little sect supplies social interactions aplenty, but it doesn't really encourage friendships. Alliances of convenience to be broken at a whim. Yes, that's more like it. Long-term solidarity does occur in the Camarilla, but we are a very politicized organization by necessity. Loyalty is to your sire, to your prince, and to the sect. Friends must remain a distant priority at best for us to maintain the masquerade and thrive as the years pass. With age comes authority, with it comes influence and power, and if you wish to reach for them. She seems to be lost in thought and falls silent for a while, leaving you to ponder all the things you've learned tonight. It still feels absolutely unreal, but as piece after piece of knowledge falls into place, the image becomes almost like an entirely logical jigsaw puzzle. Whatever you wouldn't believe on your own, you've witnessed. Many questions swarm your thoughts, but the one you keep returning to is what your place in this new reality should be. The car stops. You are in the city, in front of an old, well-renovated apartment building. We're here. Would you like to see your lodgings? My own apartment? Neat. This is another parking lot room. Do we get a loyal servant? My own apartment? Neat. I get my own apartment? That's neat. Consider it the first of many gifts that I'm able to grant in exchange for loyalty. Come upstairs. I like her. I want to be loyal to her. She leads you through a small hall with a night guard, who greets Miss Langley with a good evening, and you take the stairs up to the second floor. Sophie opens the door to room 209. Inside are all the amenities you could expect from a modern apartment, and some you wouldn't have deemed necessary just the previous night, including thick blinds on the windows. The back room has a comfortable-looking bed and a thick steel door with several sturdy-looking locks, but no windows. Well, how do you like it? Can I choose another? This is great. I'm gonna be pleased. This is great. Thank you. I'm glad. Make yourself at home. Tomorrow I will take you hunting and discuss the blood in more detail. I'll let you get comfortable. The keys are by the television set. I will come pick you up tomorrow night. Use the back room for rest. You can lock the doors just in case. It stings a bit when she leaves. It's like the room suddenly became a few shades dimmer. You inspect the kitchen hoping to find something to drink. Nothing. No regular food either. Feels strange that Shadir could be more thoughtful host than your new sire, even if only in that respect. You briefly wonder if the sheriff might have a hidden side. With nothing left to do, you lie on the couch with the TV playing in the background for company. Columbo reruns, Kojak reruns, President of the United States got himself into serious trouble again. President of the United States got himself out of trouble again. Pundits start yelling over each other about things that seemed a bit less insignificant just 2 days ago. You start drifting off, reflecting about another night of confusing conversations and worldview-shattering revelations. How many more before you finally understand what happened to you and what you're supposed to do now? You keep coming back to the life you left behind, the people you should contact, the things you want to pick up from your apartment. You wonder when you'll have the chance to do either. As you start to feel the same tiredness that made you drift into a cold sleep last night, you settle in the back room. The bed is comforting, the lack of windows less so. You leave the light bulb on. Looking at it, you realize it's the closest you'll ever come to staring at the sun on a breezy summer day again. A wave of melancholy overwhelms you. This always it's not that loud. Like, my volume is low, but it always throws me off when this happens. A few minutes later, your consciousness fades, and you take the plunge into darkness again. Sinking, 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 sinking. Okay. Every time. Hunger lies at the heart of a vampire's existence. To ignore it is to tempt the beast to take over your actions in its desire to feed. To overindulge in feeding may threaten the masquerade as well as staining what humanity you have left. So in most games you have a masquerade meter and you have a humanity meter as well as... So you have humanity, you have masquerade, and then you have the blood. And you must keep your blood mostly full, and you must keep the masquerade always full, or at least mostly full, and you must keep your humanity full. So you don't want to kill people, there are many ways that the beast can come out. It could be from hunger, it could be from loss of humanity. Either way, the beast coming out is bad. Loss of masquerade just means all of a sudden the world is aware of vampires, and you don't want that. So that's usually a game over too. The coteries of New York having high hunger. In coteries of New York, having high hunger is indicated by a progressively bigger bloody frame around the screen, like the one you see now. So it's this, the blood. As your hunger grows, so does this indicator. Your hunger may increase when you call upon your vampiric powers or when you need to mend your wounds after a fight. So this is where this game sort of changes. So it's been a visual novel for up until this point, and it will continue mostly being a visual novel, but there are gameplay aspects of this which are really cool, and I'm really excited to hit. So I may slightly ignore the 30 views rule and do another week of this just to see if people are, interested, and then I might judge. But we'll see. When your hunger reaches the maximum amount, you will receive a warning after you complete a piece of the story. Ignore it at your own peril. Some choices might only become visible if your hunger is high enough. Similarly, a high hunger may block off some choices, as you will be able to see after pressing continue. See, I can't choose that because I'm hungry. To decrease hunger, you will need to feed. Whenever you see a feeding opportunity, you can take the risk to hunt and slake your hunger. Feeding opportunity. I like how it just keeps blocking those. You will need to keep the hunger at bay if you are to uphold the masquerade and survive the nights that await you. All right, I think this is a pretty good place to leave it. We are about to get into the so this is her, obviously. All right, we are about to get into the thick of it with Coteries of New York. I'm really excited about this. I'm really happy. I really like this kind of stuff. I really like visual novels, and I especially like visual novels that get very creative with like gameplay and stuff. So I'm pumped to see how this goes. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, everybody. I really hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you guys enjoy watching it. And yeah, let me know what you guys think. I want to find a way to keep my sense of I'm entertaining people and I'm making people happy with my videos up, because sometimes it does feel like, you know, even though I do get views, and I should be thankful for even getting 30 views on anything, and I am thankful, of course, sometimes it feels like I am not entertaining anyone, and I don't know, it's very difficult to explain. The internet is a very strange, it's not like you have a group of people in front of you who are giving you their, you know, their response, and you see, yes, I am in fact entertaining people. I look at a number, but that's not a person, and so it just becomes a little difficult sometimes to figure out, well, is this interesting? Are people entertained by this? I don't know. I don't understand. All I have is numbers. So anyways, yeah, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for being patient with my inconsistencies. I am bringing things back to a normal state with my channel. I think I would like to try to make some kind of a system. I don't know what I want out of life. I will probably come back to the game design stuff after the new year. I have been given a lot of extra work at work, and I get home and I am just tanked. Like, I am so tired. So we will have to see how I can fit that into things in the new year. I would like to get back to it. I would like to return. Maybe I will make it just live streams. Who knows? I don't know if I particularly like them in video format. I think they still feel a little too tutorial-y, which is what I kind of wanted to stay away from. So maybe I will make it live stream stuff on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Who knows? We will have to see. Thank you so much for watching, everybody, again. This is like the 4th time I'm ending it. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.